Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Brothers channel, and this is my performance review of the Stria 107 series. So Stria Sport is a brand new company that has come into the basketball market. This is a basketball shoe and I'm super excited about that because the more competition there is, the more diversity we get in our shoes, and the better the technology progresses in the products, you know? This shoe's going for 120 bucks, which is not a bad price. So if you guys do want to cop a, leave a link in the description box. There are some pretty cool colorways available as well. I got this one, this black and white one. I'm gonna just call it like an Oreo colorway. There's like an all red one and an all black one with some gold accents, which I think looks really cool as well. So definitely go ahead and check it out if you want. But let's get it started off with the tracciones, right? So looking at the outsole, we can see that it says Stria Sport in pretty big letters on the outsole. And not a huge fan of how that looks. It looks a little cheesy in my opinion, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do for branding, right? And as far as the pattern goes, we got some herringbone, and then in the middle of the outsole, we got like a diamond shaped pattern here in the forefoot, as well as here in the heel. And then directly in the middle of the outsole, we have some exposed foam as well. So the bite is absolutely insane. The traction is very, very consistent. Of course, this is all on an outdoor court. When I first got it, you know, just trying it on my wood floors, it had a really, really good bite as well. So take what you want with that. So yeah, everything is pretty much closed and I can't get into an indoor basketball court. So I'm so sorry about that, guys. I know you guys are sick of it. I'm sick of it too. I just want everything to be over. I hope everyone's doing good and I hope all of you guys are safe. But anyways, yeah, so I was playing on an outdoor court and it seems very durable as well. The rubber doesn't have a lot of like fraying. I would say a little bit. It's definitely like tearing off a little bit, but that's only in the high wear area, like where the ball of my foot is. That's pretty normal, but everywhere else it seems pretty damn good. So durability, I would check it off even for outdoor use. And then the performance on the outdoor court was solid. You know, it was very consistent. I really never slipped out ever. It was that good on consistency. And it was just a solid, really, really good bite whenever I played it. So I didn't have to worry about traction really at all ever. So I feel like they did the traction very, very well. Moving on to the heel to toe transition. So this shoe is pretty interesting, right? So if you look at the heel, this heel is insanely curved up. Look at that. So when you're walking around and you kind of like put your heel down, obviously, right? You feel this and it gives you a really, really nice rocking motion, which I like a lot. But it feels weird because it curves up so damn much. So usually shoes, they fill up this spot a little bit more. So this shoe feels kind of empty in this part. So when you're like doing this, you're like, oh, wait, there's no foam here. And then it just kind of goes here. And that feels kind of weird. You definitely need to get used to it. I definitely got used to it. And it's not a huge deal. I'm just saying it feels a little different than other shoes. But anyways, yeah, that helps for heel to toe transition. You know, especially here in the heel. You have a nice curved shape here in the forefoot and a lot of forefoot flex. So heel to toe transition is super smooth. Just you'll probably need to get used to this in the heel. As far as the cushion goes, they're using Stria foam, or they're just saying a soft foam on their website now. And it feels very, very nice. You know, it feels soft. There's a nice little rebound back, so it's slightly bouncy. And court feel is really good. So impact protection for the most part is really good, right? I was playing in it, it's soft, and I could feel it right away. I could feel the cushion pretty much right when I got the shoe. But here I can pretty much feel it all the time, and it feels great, especially here in the heel. Also, underfoot cushioning is super nice. You know, the stroke board is quite stiff, but it broke in pretty nicely. And I could feel the foam underneath my foot. You know, it's not the softest thing because the stroke board, like I said, is slightly stiff, but it's actually pretty comfortable, and the insole helps a lot. The insole is pretty damn nice. You know, I would say it feels a little bit softer and a little bit thicker than your average Outsole insole. So that's good as well. But then like on super hard impacts, it wasn't the best, right? So like I said, this foam is quite soft. So when I did a super hard landing, especially like a heel strike or something, I can feel the foam bottoming out and I can feel my foot kind of touch the ground a little bit, you know? So on super hard impacts, I wouldn't say it's the best. It's not like terrible or anything, but it's not the best. But overall, impact protection, just like kind of doing some normal landings, you should be good to go. Also, another thing that I like about the midsole is the shape, right? So you guys can see this like little crevice here throughout this entire midsole basically, and kind of like extends here into the midfoot. So this shape allows the cushion to compress a little bit more. So overall, it's a nice cushioning setup. I feel like most people will enjoy it, especially since it's soft. But just watch out for like the hard impacts. And now moving on to the material. So when I first saw this shoe on, I was like, I don't really know how I feel about the materials. And then I got it and I started playing in it. And it's actually very, very nice, right? So if here in the forefoot, it's extremely thin, but then this mesh material has just a little bit of foam to where it feels comfortable as well, right? So it's weird because, you know, it feels super minimal and very thin, but also comfortable on foot, and like it has that cozy feeling as well. Not as much as like the LeBrons or like a thicker knit, but it's still kind of cozy, which feels great. You have a good amount of fuse here in the toe box area that extends all the way here into the midfoot, which also covers the eyelets for extra added durability. And of course, you know, the fuse material in the toe box will give you extra durability if you do toe drags. So the material in the toe box feels comfortable, super lightweight, and very minimal, which I absolutely love. Moving on to the tongue and the ankle area. So the tongue has a good amount of padding. I would say it's just like around average, but it feels pretty nice. And then here in the ankle area, you have a good amount of padding as well. I wouldn't say it's a crazy amount of padding, but it has a little bit more padding than average, especially here on the sides of the shoe, right? And once you go down into the bottom of the shoe, right here in the ankle area, there's really no padding, which gives you a good lockdown. So the shoe feels very comfortable and very cozy here in the ankle. And it still feels very comfortable and very cozy here in the forefoot, but also super minimal. So the materials are really, really nice. I really liked it. It also feels great on foot. Like, I cannot believe how minimal the shoe feels on foot. So yeah, they did a great job on the materials. As far as quality goes though, it's not the best, you know. Like I said, it's a mesh material. The fuse is not that nice. And you got some synthetic leather here in the back, which also doesn't feel that nice. And I guess like a cheaper kind of like plastic, like a softer plastic for the external TPU heel counter, which also says Stria. That doesn't feel the best either. But on foot, like when you're playing, it feels awesome. Alright, moving on to the fit. So the fit wasn't the best for me. I went true to size, and lengthwise I'm pretty much good to go. But here in the toe box, there is a little bit of space, which kind of sucks. It's not to the point where it's like super uncomfortable when my foot's swimming around in the shoe, but I wish it was a little bit more snug, especially since it's a really thin, very comfortable material. Obviously, if you like a roomier fit in your shoes, or you have a thick ass foot, then you're good to go, right? But for me, it wasn't the best fit here in the toe box, which isn't a huge deal, but like I said, I wish it was a little bit more snug. Coming into the midfoot, it pretty much stays slightly narrow. And putting the shoe on is also easy. You don't really have a pull tab, but it does come up a little bit. And then, you know, the tongue opens up a lot. Just slide your foot in, tighten up the laces, which is super easy to do because you have these flat laces. And then you're good to go. So there's that. Moving on to the support and lockdown. Support and lockdown was also really, really good. So this shoe is a low top shoe, so you're not really going to get any ankle support, but it has a low wide base, and it also has an outrigger here. So you're not really going to feel like you're going to roll your ankle or anything. And also, if you want to fit the shoe with an ankle brace, you definitely can. I do like the extra padding here, like I said, on the sides of the shoe. That feels great when you're wearing an ankle brace. So lateral stability is good as well, like I mentioned, because of this extra wide base here in the forefoot. And for lateral containment, it's good too. You can see on the lateral side with the foam does come up here in the heel as well as in the forefoot. It kind of comes up into a peak. So that's caging you for lateral containment, which is good. And you do have yeah, I would say an internal TPU heel counter as well as this external one. And then here in the forefoot, the fuse does make the mesh material a little bit more supportive as well. So for lateral containment, I had no issues at all. All right, moving on to the weight of the shoe. This shoe feels extremely light and minimal, but not like that cheap light feeling, you know what I'm saying? Which is a good thing. I really don't know how they made it feel like this, because I guess they are using like cheaper materials, but let's see. I'm feeling okay, so 12.17 ounces, which is lighter than average. The average weight of my shoes is around 12.5 ounces, so 12.1. Pretty damn good. I thought it was gonna be like 11.5 ounces. That's how light it feels. But anyways, yeah, it feels great. You know, the materials, like I said, feel super minimal and thin. but also comfortable and cozy, especially since you have a good amount of padding here in the tongue and in the ankle area. You feel very quick as well because the traction is consistent and very good, and the cushion is soft too, so it's like comfortable as well. They just blended all these things together very well in the shoe, which I don't really see a lot in a lot of basketball shoes. So props to Stria for doing that. Alright, as far as ventilation goes, it's okay. Like I said, this mesh material is very thin, so it does wick away moisture. Like my foot wasn't super hot in the shoe, but there's not a whole lot of airflow through this material. Like if you blow through it, you can feel a little bit of airflow. So yeah, I mean, ventilation is pretty good, I would say, but not the best. Alright, moving on to the aesthetics. The aesthetics of the shoe are nice. And when I first posted this shoe on Instagram, a lot of you guys like surprisingly said it looked good. And I was very surprised at the good feedback that I got in the comments, because whenever there's a new shoe, usually people don't like it. And of course, I'm guilty of that as well. Yeah, I mean, overall, the silhouette looks dope. The colorways are great. Don't really like the branding all too much. You know, it says Stria Sport here. Don't like that. I mean, I feel like maybe if they put like a logo or something, kind of like the swoosh, I don't know. But that something about the Stria Sport here makes it look a little cheesy, but other than that, I feel like the design looks great. Alright, so wrapping things up, Stria Sport, they pretty much hit it out the ballpark with this shoe. It's a great performer. I absolutely love playing in it. It's 120 bucks, so the price is not even that bad. Of course, they're a small company, so they can't really charge like less than that, you know what I'm saying? Like Nike definitely can't. They can get away with it because they're a much larger company. So 120 bucks, you got to cut them some slack, and I believe 120 is not that bad either. And as far as performance goes, it's really good. Like I keep saying, the shoe feels really lightweight and very minimal, but also super supportive and comfortable as well, which a lot of shoes don't do very well, you know what I'm saying? And the cushion is nice, you know, it's soft and all that. The traction is solid, support is good. So I mean, I feel like it's a shoe that's really good for most positions as well. If you're a big man, you'll enjoy this shoe. If you're a quick guard, you'll also enjoy this shoe. So yeah, I really like playing in this shoe, and I feel like you guys will too. So I definitely recommend it. Go ahead and check this shoe out. If you guys do want to cop, again, I'll leave a link in the description box. But that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.